Hassan Ayariga, who was also painting black of my name. I want to let him know that a leader does not talk like that.
Now, 24 hours ago, I published this video about the Igbo king in Ghana on how most Ghanaians and myself feel about his activities in our country. And I'm speaking specifically about his involvement in our politics and chieftaincy activities in Ghana. I wanted to make sure he was reminded of his status living as a non-Ghanaian and therefore couldn't be enthroned as a king under any circumstance in our country.
Wrong information, and you are giving the youth of the nation wrong emotional torture information for them to rise against your fellow African brothers.
Then I started receiving calls from mostly Nigerians living overseas and in Nigeria on their reaction to my video. I want to summarize all they said in one page so I can also respond to what they said.
It is so cheap for him to open his mouth to say, I'm a human trafficker.
Hello my people, I say make I update you now for this Ghana story we start since last week. Since last week, this matter don't dey on top internet, especially for Ghana. Many people don't chook mouth inside. Some dey for, some others dey against. The main thing here be say that man will be Cyrus, we do that video, we start all this talk, say he no understand say this matter be like this. Since we Chukwudi Ihenetu will be Eze Ndi Igbo for Ghana, can explain himself for press conference where he hold for that country. I will start this program with that interview, plus including that of a Ghanaian man, where talk something where fit enter body about the better thing where that Eze Ndi Igbo they do for inside that country, where people don't know. Try stay to the end of this video, make you hear that man, because the thing when he talk, he enter body well. Make we first of all start with Chukwudi Ihenetu, Eze Ndi Igbo for Ghana. Remember say they accused Chukwudi Ihenetu say he acquire 50 hectares of land for inside Ghana. Say he want to come build Igbo village. Now him be their anger.
By the special grace of God, I am Eze Chukwudi Ihenetu, the chief of Igbo community in Ghana, crowned by my community as it is in the Constitution of Ghana that had to do with foreign chiefs. My community elected me to be their chief. And by the special grace of God, I've been performing that right of the diaspora chief of my people, the Igbo community in Ghana. And this is 12 years and some few months of me occupying these foreign diaspora leadership seats. And I must also say thank you for the people of Ghana, host nation, that accommodate us to live and dwell and do business in Ghana. I also want to say a big thank you to Ghana Traditional Council that recognize the Igbo throne, the Igbo diaspora throne in Ghana. I'll take you back a little bit. I did not make myself the Igbo chief. The controversy that is spreading around the world in the internet that had to do with the video that I made 2013 as the chairman of Igbo community has spoken was as a result of trade issue that Nigerians were having then with Ghana Trade Union, GUTA, from 2012 to 2013 thereabout, when the GUTA asked Nigerians to leave their local market as the trade law established that foreigners are not supposed to be in a retail market, in a retail goods in the local market. Now, as of that time, we had a lot of in and out of meetings with the trade ministry. I can remember a couple of our meetings, some level of advices given to us that for we to go and build a mall that can accommodate us there so that we'll be able to get ourselves out from this misunderstanding with the Ghana Trade Union. Then we started thinking on how to develop this vision of getting a mall for ourselves. Then we thought of having this along Aflawo Road. There is a good relationship we had with Nene Tepe, the paramount king of Ningo Pram Pram. Far back, 2008, 2009, we we built primary school for them there to support the village, the education of the sons and daughters in that village. And we had a good relationship with him. And he had been telling us to get him investors because we have vast land and also beach areas. Then we remember there's opportunity over there. We can develop that mall there. We went to him for this beautiful idea. And we discussed this with him. And there, more idea come out of us. The idea of developing Igbo village as a business hub area. We discussed this with him, and the king was very happy for such vision, for such, it's like an estate to come into his kingdom. He told us he can even offer us 200 acres of land. Not offer for free, but, for we to buy. We said it's too much. He said 100. We said 50 is okay for us. And he made his boys to go show us the land. We had videos, we had pictures. We come back to him, agreed on terms of payment. And we agreed that the payment to take place in tranches, 3 months. Then we came back. A week after, I had TV interview like as we are here, just like my president said. And during that interview, I said, we acquired 50 acres of land. We all want to build Igbo village and talk about the vision. Remember, this is an agreement with the king. For 3 months' time, we have to go for payment. 3 months' time, we went in for payment, and the king told us there is litigation over the land. We should hold our money. When he finished the litigation, we'll pay. We'll keep going in and out from 2013 to 2014. He could not round up his litigation. Along the process, we are fed up of in and out. We forget about that project. Though sometimes we talk about the vision. That is how this project, we left it. The video you are seeing on the internet that I said we'll build Igbo village was made 2013, 12 years ago. If you look at my age now, my age then, that time no small biabia. That time, you can see the video how young I was then, 12 years ago. Now, we have no piece of land acquired in Ningo Pram Pram for that project because it did not come to pass. Nowhere in Ghana we bought land for Igbo village till now, till tomorrow. But it was so bad that some of our bloggers misinterpreted the vision and they said, we want to build Igbo kingdom in Ghana. That is 100% lies. If you go back to that video, you see what I said is Igbo village. And the interpretation of village is different from kingdom. We have no any plan to build any kingdom in Ghana. We cannot build kingdom on top of someone's kingdom. It is impossible. But some mischievous, some of our sons and daughters that believe that through internet and through having more viewers, they'll be making money from there, now decided to tarnish the image of a humble person like me just for them to make money from the internet and giving wrong information. That's one. Two, the same people also trying to create misunderstanding between the two nations, Ghana and Nigeria, because of pew nuts they are making from internet because of their followers. Without thinking the consequences of what they are doing, that this is enough to destroy image of a country, is enough to cause problem, is enough to cause xenophobia. If you look at the internet, there's so many AI videos against me. Some people will say I am on the run. Some people will say I'm building a kingdom. I want to destroy Ghana. I want to rule Ghana. I want to, put Ghana in my pocket. Who am I to do this? And this is 100% mischievous. If they understand what they are doing, I don't think they will do this. They even put in the internet that people has come to my house to protest. Nobody came to my house for protest. And that video is seriously causing problem. Our people back home, all over the world, are calling us, thinking that we are not safe in Ghana. But Ghana is one of the most safest countries in the world that accommodates everybody, that the security of Ghana is so good and so tight that people are comfortable living in Ghana. But what these internet bloggers are doing, they are rather destroying the image of the nation without thinking. By the grace of God, as we live in Ghana, doing our businesses, have our house where we live, when we grow old or we decide to relocate from Ghana, we will not take the properties home. It's already built in Ghana. It's also part of development. And we have businesses. We will not be part of anything that will destroy the nation. If anything that will destroy the nation come through us, that means our businesses, our properties will also be destroyed. A progressive man protects what belongs to him. A progressive man protects even ordinary of his pencil. In our various homes, when you buy a pencil, give to your children. This is yours, this is yours. Sometimes they write their names on the pencil. If the other person takes the pencil, the other one gets angry because they're taking his pencil. How much more we that have businesses? So I want to let the world know that every stories they are putting out there is not a real story. Thank God you will hear from that video clearly that is the village we are talking about. That was vision since 12 years ago. So there's no existence of such. Then, remember, I also married a Ghanaian for 28 years with 5 biological children and other adopted children that are also Ghanaians. Where on earth you think that I will be a part of destruction or a part of uncomfortable for the host nation when I have my seed here, being my children? They're Ghanaians, and they're also Nigerians. But the first identity of them are Ghanaians. I felt so bad when some bloggers will be saying that Igbo should go, Eze Igbo should go. We don't want him in Ghana. Are you also sacking my wife, your daughter? Are you also sacking my children, your children? Are you also sacking my business? Are you also taking away my property, being my house? But I don't blame the people of Ghana. Heaven bear me witness. I blame those mischievous that are trying to make money from internet to cause trouble. Our brother Cyrus made a statement 24 hours after this problem he created. Cyrus, is the one that created this problem in Ghana. He said 24 hours after his followers, his viewers, is over 600,000. That means you want to make money from the destruction of somebody's image. You are looking for followers, then you want to destroy somebody's image. I want to use the opportunity to tell the youth of Ghana, please, don't allow yourself to be used by a mischiever who is touching the emotions of the people for them to go into destruction over Nigerians' property. Why you are, if
After
at
this
all
video,
you go
my people,
into do that,
Cyrus
why you are
come
doing that,
response
he'll be
say,
taking the footage of what you are doing to put also in his platform. I'm making my money, and
that
you
kind
are
journalist
there
have been a
to
blogger.
destroy.
If to say people
So
buy
please,
for
the
inside this
youth
story
of
where
Ghana,
you do, for this fake story
I
where you
plead
carry,
with you people
now so for just end them,
not
see
to
them as he talk them. Oh
engage
yes, my
yourself
people, when I don't
in
hear
this
them,
kind of
it's
situation
in way pen
that
pass for
somebody
inside this
is
matter. They
provoking
say
you to get into that.
this Cyrus man, we talk all this thing, no fit
Ghana is a
apologize.
peaceful nation.
Give this man way in destroy
As long as
before
I'm
the people of
concerned,
Ghana. If Chukwudi
I
Ihenetu
remain
carry and go
loyal
court now, the good
to
people
this
of Ghana will
country,
no sabi
Ghana,
with the
and the
inside
entire
story.
Igbos
Go
in
just carry
Ghana,
and enter
we are
market again because
submissive
this na proper
to the authority
libel
of
or
this nation.
assassination of character.
I also
And
want
the
to say
evidence
apologies to
dey
His
here.
Excellency.
Now, 24 hours ago, I published this video about the Igbo king in Ghana on how most Ghanaians and myself feel about his activities in our country. And I'm speaking specifically about his involvement in our politics and chieftaincy activities in Ghana. I wanted to make sure he was reminded of his status living as a non-Ghanaian and therefore couldn't be enthroned as a king under any circumstance in our country. Then I started receiving calls from mostly Nigerians living overseas and in Nigeria on their reaction to my video. I want to summarize all they said in one page so I can also respond to what they said. So this is how it went. Cyrus, you got it all wrong on this one. We love your channel and your push for the unity of Africa and especially your research works. But on this one, you totally missed it. I see. It is an Igbo thing we do all around the world for the purpose of uniting our people wherever we find ourselves and has no political ties to it. Please bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I am just paraphrasing what they said. We, the Igbo people in Nigeria, therefore recognize such groups and chiefs, but disapprove of their interest in making it a political movement or associating it with the politics of the host country. They also said that's how we, the Igbo people, are able to bring our people under checks when it has to do with doing the right things in the countries where we live. Therefore, we have similar associations in other states in Nigeria and in every other part of Africa. This is coming from them. However, our true kings in Nigeria bears the title of Obi, as in the Obi of Onitsha, for instance. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Those are the royalties we have and submit to according to them. So they mentioned that They don't bow to these ones who are elected in foreign lands or countries. They don't serve nor treat them like they serve and treat their kins in their native homes, ladies and gentlemen. But these appointed persons will sort of become their mouthpiece when, for instance, they face challenges where they are and will need a united voice to speak with the authorities in the countries where they live, ladies and gentlemen. So, it's not a political movement, nor a royalty or kingdom expansion, nor a Biafran movement, but it is purely Igbo cultural thing amongst them to mobilize and to get to know each other for the purpose of doing business and being of assistance to one another amongst their kinsmen. This is the summary of what I heard, and I hope I captured everything that they said, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is my take. I first of all appreciate they are getting in touch with me. This shows how far our platform has reached. But most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, in as much as it sounds innocent and peaceful and useful to them, it appears rather strange and suspicious to the average Ghanaian, and I'll explain. And I'm not saying this out of my own intuition alone, but from a collection of thoughts from Ghanaians in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. What we see and experience is what we talk about. And what we see is a Nigerian man who has hired several bodyguards who don't sound Ghanaians and is usually seen at high profile conferences and traditional meetings, especially with politicians, identifying himself as a king of a foreign tribe. That is what we see. He is seen in photos with almost every important person of our land, from the head of the police service to the traditional heads to chiefs, politicians, and even to the president. This is what we see, and that's what creates the suspicion. Now, the question then becomes, who is he and why is he granted so much access as a foreigner in Ghana? What is his agenda and the agenda of the group that he heads? Why is he seen or heard more often than the Nigerian High Commissioner in Ghana? Is he superior to the High Commissioner or working hand in hand with the High Commissioner? And most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, what business does he do to afford the lifestyle that he has? We hear he's a wealthy man making all sorts of donations and even wanting to build schools for our people. But what is his source of income? That is what people want to know. This is the curiosity on the minds of many Ghanaians due to the experiences we've had with the people from Nigeria over the years. We've had Nigerians live in our country who were very generous and helpful in their community, only to later discover they were in the business of transporting or kidnapping underage girls from their country to Ghana to engage in prostitution. These are facts. These types of stories are not just known in Ghana, but all around the world where Nigerians reside. Therefore, people will usually want to know the source of income of such people. Ladies and gentlemen, these are legit questions anyone who is not used to these types of associations by foreigners or groups must ask. Ladies and gentlemen, we have hundreds of thousands of Nigerians living in Ghana. Everywhere you go, you find a Nigerian. We've been classmates with them, neighbors and co-workers, church members and spousal partners with them for many decades. We know what some of them are capable of doing when an opportunity presents itself. Therefore, it will be totally naive on our part to not be watchful and careful when dealing with some of them. For it is better to be preserved while being overly protected than to be surprised in our naivety, ladies and gentlemen. Now, with this information given me, which I have done my checks and concluded it is true, I will grant the man his peace, but still observe from far. And I would encourage every one of us to do same if possible. Ladies and gentlemen, he is not a king, but the mouthpiece of the kinsmen of the Igbo people in Ghana. Ghanaians have something similar to that in other countries, but we do it differently. We may form an association in other countries with someone leading us, but not refer to him as a king. And we usually form a Ghanaian association and not a tribal one. In all the countries I've traveled to across the world, I've been in such meetings of an association of all Ghanaians from different tribes, but theirs is rather based on tribes alone, which is okay by me since that's what they want to do. we cannot stop any group of people or people from meeting themselves. That is not against the law. But this speaks more about the level of division in Nigeria. I don't think there is any country in the world more divided than Nigeria. Nothing comes close, ladies and gentlemen.
Anyway, this other man wey be Ghanaian don't show say good people still remain for Ghana. Yes, the man para plenty for that madness wey Cyrus cause. Let's enter in body well. Even so myself come dey calm and down. Make you hear am.
They work with Ghana Health Service in this country. That man's company is the one supplying diapers and a lot of baby scare things. Some of you that have gone to the hospital, your wives are in the hospital giving birth right now. They are using that man's material that he has supplied to the hospitals. They are dealing with them that they are using to take care of your children. Today, you come and start on social media writing comments and be insulting the man, insulting Nigerians. Meanwhile, they are making the economy to boost for you people. Ask yourself why Donald Trump couldn't sack Elon Musk. Why he didn't deport Elon Musk? Just because he's the panacea of the economy. If you sack that man, the workers will protest against you guys. Protest against you people. Listen very attentively. He's the CEO again of Chibet Mother Care Limited, providing services, rendering services to Ghana Health Service, hospitals in this country. Why do you think that presidents recognize him? His Excellency, the past president, Kufuor recognized him, Bawumia recognized him, Nanado recognized him, Mahama recognized him. The kings or the chiefs we have in this country recognize that man. Do you think it is easy for them to do your bidding just because of your stomach direction? Because of the 2,000, 3,000 you have been getting from some of the Nigerian caucus that are paying you people to tarnish the image of the man, and some of the Ghanaian politicians that are backing you people? Nah, it is not far. We are all human beings living in Africa. Ghana was the first country that deported Nigerians and they retaliated. That was the Ghana must go. Ceasefire. That man, the supplies to Ghana Health Care Service and other companies in this country. Another company of that man is Chibet Farms. They operate in farming and agro production and they supply crops. Listen very attentively. They supply crops and livestock for food and commercial uses in Ghana. Sack him if you get job to do. Sack Chukwudi and see if you get job to do in this country. The man is one of the stanch holding this economy, providing job for the youth. Over 5,000 youth in this country are working in this man's company, different dimensions of company. You never knew that that company belonged to Nigerians. You play again. You think if you are protesting against them on the 19th that they should leave and they gradually leave this country, do you think they will leave without their company? Go and ask MTN, go and ask Vodafone, go and ask Tigo Airtel or Airtel Tigo. Go and ask them who provide them infrastructure. Is this man? His company is also part of the people that provide them infrastructure. This man is boosting your economy, and what you could do is to hold meeting on TikTok, ranting all over, and you don't know that you are working in some of his companies. Why do you think that man can make a way straight to the presidency, to go to the president and be having meeting with the president? Do you think it is easy just because he has some money? Do you think it is easy to make an appointment with the president without doing the background or thorough checkup? Why do you think his former president Kufuor congratulated him? Why do you think Bawumia and all those people visited him during his festival? Do you know the help that man has been rendering to the people in this country, and you have the temerity, the impetus to have meeting and to be typing comments that are irrelevant and be using words against people just because they are telling you the truth. If you think that man will live in this country, you will protest and they will grant your wish for that man to be deported. Be ready to be jobless in this country. Many Ghanaians that are in diaspora, they don't like investing in Ghana. They have invested in abroad. Ask them, those that are under the sound of my voice, those that are watching me from US, America, wherever, whatsoever you are watching me, they don't like investing in their own country. Papa na yen foso, yen na yen msa wa yen foso. Na mo fa de encheni ba. Na mo be saki Nigerians. Just because of allegation, things that your own country people are doing. Look at our youth. Look at we the youth in this country. Very jobless. We have not turned into something. Tramadol, red, everywhere.
All right, my people, make we tell ourselves the truth. It's true, say this one will happen for Ghana. Personally, I don't see anything with the inside. This man will be Eze Ndi Igbo for Ghana. This Chukwudi, he no do anybody anything. He no offend anybody. However, this thing where they happen for Ndi Igbo, where they pursue them up and down for everywhere. My people, we supposed to look inside them. Ndị bayi, anya sochana deke, kai kozia n'ubi onye anyị gara. Ahụkwara m otu ihe onyonyo ebe a na-achụgharị onye Igbo na ọdụ ụgbọelu dị na Pakistan. Si na ha agaghị ekwe ya ka ọ baa. Ọ gịnị ka ndị Igbo mere eji achụgharị ya? Ekwuona m ya mbụ na eze ndị Igbo anyị na-echi ebe ọbụla ịga na Lagos chi eze ndị Igbo, ije na Ghana isi eze ndị Igbo. Ka ndị Igbo ka anyị nebere n'ihi anya. Mpako karịrị anyị n'ahụ. Onye Igbo jidesi ebe a, ọ dịzị ya ka ọ bụ Chukwu. Onye anyị na Ghana na-achụgharị bụkwa naanị ordinary chairman Igbo Association ndị bi na Ghana. Bidozirikwa isi agụ, iwezi okpu mmemme, akpọwa ya eze ndị Igbo na Ghana. Na-eko kachasị agbanyere mmiri, ndị Igbo mara nụ n'ọrụ. Onye akpọrọ asị anaghị akpọ onwe ya. Ọnọdụ udo adịghị egbe mma. Onye ọbụla were nke a mara ihe ka anyị kwanyere n'onwe anyị ugwu. Ihe anyị gara mba bụ ịchụta ego. Onye chụtanye ego ga-enweta ya ụlọ ka akụ wee ruo ụlọ. Ka ọ ga-abụ ọsọ chụwa gị n'ezi ka ị nwee ya bido gbanata. Biko ka anyị kpachara n'anya. Zebudaya si na to be 4-1 is to be 4 army. Ka Chineke gozie okwu a.